Can you believe it? Dragons in your own homeland. What are you going to do?
This one does not know, but he hopes his family is safe.
My friend, Raz is happy to see you, but surprised you didn't help me with these creatures. Not that Raz needed any. Ominous. No more than usual, my friend. But there's work for the Queen's eye. And that's what Raz said. But rumors reached the Queen. So this one made the journey and was immediately attacked by strange creatures. While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Raz never saw such monsters in his life. They appear related to water, but this one tends to avoid this stuff. That pearl, though. As a matter of fact, Raz made a list. Old Newell, a high elf artisan, spoke out. See what she complained about. Then there's Soxolza, a persecuted Argonian newcomer. Finally, Ranuol, a city... Old Newell complained about it. No. Raz doesn't want to prejudice your investigation. You will find out when you talk to her. The artist... True, not enough syllables. Ranuol's a Redguard, whose family has lived in Shimarin for generations. He's a well-respected trade. The Divine Prosecution serves as law-keepers and protectors of social standards. Very persnickety. When rules are broken, they record it in their observation logs. If your name something to do with monks and newcomer registration, Raz is looking into that. Last I heard, Soxolza was seen leaving the city and heading west. Probably trying to reach the water. Nothing at all. Unless you think they came to Summerset because of the Queen's decree. No, that would be ridiculous. Let's not lose focus. Just see what... We need to confirm these rumors or else put an end to them. Everyone should be pleased with the Queen's decree. Opening the border shows progress, yes? However, if any of her loyal subjects, while you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may... Raz knows very little about city ordinances or how to tell the difference between mead and ale, so let's avoid those topics, yes? Otherwise, Raz is wounded to the core. Forgotten already. This one usually leaves a better impression. I am Razum-dar, Queen Ayrenn, her most excellent leader of the Altmeri Dominion, has issued a decree opening the once forbidden for some. High elves talk of perfection, but they are a complicated people. Keen Lady Avenice has made her views on the Queen's decree quite clear. She calls it unreasonable, dangerous. A few of the city's know she has spoken against it. Now Raz needs to know how far she will go to defy the will of the Queen. Does she grumble but welcome?
Find your own patch of beach. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication, an ultimate concept practiced widely here in Summerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every high elf strives for. The path to... I believe in caution as much as the next high elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
Those keepers must keep you in their prayers each night.
Don't look away.
Hurrah, Caravel. How can a humble merchant help so exalted a personage on this fine and fine day? The divine... Did a justiciar send you to harass me? I've lived in Summerset my whole life, and I did nothing wrong. You high elf. After I filled out all the proper forms and arranged to bring my cousin here, the ship arrived and they carted all the newcomers away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin... Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not. Summerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. High elves treat us like...
This is unheard of. Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
But the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The kin lady and I, we have only your best interests in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Altmer society.
The old Dark's right! Lock up the newcomers!
Send the newcomers back where they came from. We don't want them here.
Such anger. Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz. Sequestered, just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Old Newell's assistant has lived on Summerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Solza have to say? Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the King Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and nothing. Raz admires your enthusiasm, but this one needs you to enter the monastery on your own. Raz has other fish to catch. This one will help you get past the sentry, though. When you notice...
You there! I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
Sentry! Raz owes you for that game of cards, and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... You say I won some gold?
Don't you remember? Raz always pays his debt.
No, not now, please.
Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldach brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. Aldach Tilkala arrived right after the Queen issued her decree. He came highly recommended by King Lady Avanice, or so I heard. It's not the Aldach and his monks keep to themselves. They've taken the Undercroft for their own purposes and ordered the rest of us to avoid the ancient vaults beneath the monastery. The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldach has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm.
Why are you here?
Unusual knick-knack for an Aldach's office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public eye. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curio. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldach and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about... A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldach acquired it. Probably not important. I'll meet you in the Undercroft, and we can see what's going on with the newcomers.
You have no right to be in here.
Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve such treatment. There's someone alive over there. See if you can help her.
Thank the divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here. It's a nightmare. We came to Summerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us, the monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the...
Is that a scoffin?
Thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra? Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my day. An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions. I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
More newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear. Your turn will come.
Daedric cultists? I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures. The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell. Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Psijic Order. The Psijic Order is an ancient magical monastic society. We served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home. An Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Psijic island, for safekeeping and stuff. Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent... Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her. See what she knows about the Oldar. The King Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. A Sijik? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Sijiks. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, there was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijik mage and figure out where this pearl... King Lady Avanis and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and...
Soul alive with love and joy under pregnant golden sail.
Yes? And who might you... The kin lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference. Yes. So you do.
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with all Dark Takala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Summerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly.
I see the Queen's decree has even attracted some of our wayward brethren back to our shores. But make no mistake, Ultima or not, you heard that somewhere, did you? I'll have to have a discussion with the Divine Prosecution about how lax our security has become. No, I jest. You really are well informed about things here in Shimmerine, aren't you? For an outsider. Though your heritage might be Ultima, but you aren't a native of Summerset. You simply don't have the bearing and culture... That's a serious accusation to toss around so casually. What did you say your name was again? I want to make sure to add it to the Divine Prosecution's observation. I suddenly remembered some business I need to deal with as well. Feel free to pester the...
dare you barge into my home without so much as a by your leave? I'm sorry, Kerem, but I have no time for petitions or solicitations today. I have important work to get back to. Perhaps you can talk to my cousin. She's such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Summerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. Aldark Tilkala came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Aldark's existence prior to when we met. And I recommended him for the position at the monastery. That's preposterous! Aldark Tikala sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Summerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they...
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Aldark himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting, but I need to hear the Aldark's explanation.
Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly. Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she's not a murderer. This new Aldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the Aldark is up to, after I take back.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Aldark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something, and it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valcerin of the Sijic Order, and I agree that the Aldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes? But let's travel separately, to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
One of Somerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. Based on what we saw in the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them.
You know nothing of the plan, you fool. Let me give you a taste of what the Prince of Bargains has in store for this pitiful world. Come, never. Yagra! Destroy.
Razum-dar apprehended the kin lady. They're at the west edge of the coral forest. What happened to Aldoc Tilkalar? Did he escape? I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Aldoc. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargain's Clavicus Vial. Strange magic and creatures worry me, however. You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Right Master Aikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, the Right Master leads the Sijic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location. One more adjustment and there! You are now attuned. Find me on Artaeum after you finish with the Eye of the Queen.
Ah, Five Claw. The King Lady and Raz had the most illuminating conversation.
You can't treat me like some
Queen
sort of
Ayrenn will be
criminal.
disappointed that the King Lady of Shimmerine allowed a false Aldar to murder so many newcomers. Such a scandal makes the Prince of Bargains. That could only be Clavicus Vial. What oblivion-inspired nest of vipers has Raz stumbled into? This one has a very bad feeling about all of this. The Sijic Order's interest in all of this concerns Razum-dar. This one has never had much love of magic, or those that practice the art. On the other hand, now Raz has his own person on the inside. Then you must go to Artaeum and discover what the Sijics have learned. When you return, you can tell Raz all about it, so he...
Have you come to gloat? To kick me while I wallow in my own misery? Well, go ahead. I met him at Kinlord Millenthal's party in Eleanor. We had similar ideas about the Queen's decree, and I recommended that he lead the monastery. Summerset isn't a stewpot. What a hateful accusation. Tilkala told me he was going to send them back where they came from. I had no idea he planned. I certainly hope not. We'll have to get the divine prosecution in there to gather up the monks Tilkala brought with him to Shimmerine. We can't have Daedric cultists desecrating a holy site. I suppose I...
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful or concerned.
We'll find him, Val. Now go check on the pearl while I speak to our new guest. What a rare honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable and unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sothasil warned us about. Sothasil, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his clockwork city, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Summerset and Artaeum. I sent Valcerin to invest. Indeed, but not until we finish studying the pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldark and the source of the pearl's magic.